Hello, children. Welcome back to another story time. Let's dive right in, shall we? So, I spent the last week of my life in Phoenix, Arizona because my mom lives there and her birthday is on March 6th. And her favorite singer of all time is Billy Joel, who happened to be playing in Chase Field on March 9th. So I decided, why not go spend her birthday week with her and take her to go see Billy Joel, because Billy Joel. Now, I really want to brief this story time by saying that I absolutely love Billy Joel. I think he is a fabulous singer, songwriter, pianist, guitarist, you name it. The show was absolutely incredible, and I by no means have anything against Billy or his people. He's literally one of my biggest inspirations of all time and most likely always will be. Who I am currently upset with are the people who run the stadium. So if you're not a big baseball fan, you might be unaware that Chase Field is the stadium where the Arizona Diamondbacks play, and that just so happens to be where the Billy Joel concert was. So to begin, we're going into the venue, and what's the first thing you do when you're going into a concert or a sports game or anything of that nature? You get your ticket scanned and you get your bag checked, right? I shit you not when I say I was carrying a backpack, like a small backpack. They took it, held it, while I walked through a metal detector and then just handed it back to me on the other side. They did not look through the bag for a second. They didn't even open it. I get it, okay, I'm not exactly a threat, but at the end of the day, it kind of makes you wonder, like, who else's bags aren't they checking, you know? I don't know, it just makes me a little uneasy knowing that, like, in theory, I could have brought some really fucked up shit to the stadium, like, you know, like alcohol or illegal drugs or, you know, weapons. And no one would have known. So already I'm like, okay, security is totally half-assing it, but also I'm like one of the least intimidating people in the world, so I kind of get it. So then we're in the arena and we're waiting in a line to buy t-shirts, and the system is absolutely fucked. They put the little like merch stand right in the midst of like all of the food and like the beer and concessions and like literally the sections where people are like trying to go and get to their seats. So like every 10 seconds, like 5 people are just like cutting through the line, and it's getting really old really fast. And also, this has nothing to do with anything except for the fact that it pissed me off and I'm already sort of ranting. But the woman in line behind my mother and I was standing like directly behind us and then like a little to the right. And like I get it, like that's how lines work. Like they're single file, like it's one person directly behind another. But I mean this bitch was like closer to my mom than I was. Like if like my mom was like right here, like she was like it was just a really, like at one point my mom literally turned to me and was like, what is wrong with her? And I was like, I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. I don't know. Like, it's a few days later and I still legitimately cannot fathom what that woman's deal was. Like, I just don't know. I can't comprehend why she stood that way. Like, I don't think she was trying to cut in line. Like, if she was, she wasn't even remotely subtle about it, but like, what? So anyway, we finally get out of the line and the concert was fabulous. Billy and his whole band and everything were just incredible. It was everything I expected. It was literally like one of the best shows I've ever seen. So the show ends, and as we're leaving, it is a total shit show. And I mean, like, I've been to tons of concerts in my time. You know, if you expect it, like, there's no orderly way that people pile out of the stadium or arena. Like, it's gonna be hell. It always is. We get out to, like, the main, like, concourse, and my mom and I get split up because, you know, people legitimately just have, like, no regard for the fact that they're literally cutting people off from, like, their friends and family. Like, for me, like, I've always tried to be so conscious of that, because like it's just so irritating when it happens. But it's like literally, like, I get it, it's kind of every man for himself, but at the same time, like, be a decent fucking human being, okay? So I did see which way she went, and so I tried to find her, but I couldn't. So I'm wandering around aimlessly for like 5 minutes trying to find my mom, and the anxiety is really starting to kick in because my phone was dead and I have zero sense of direction. You can ask anyone in the world, I have no sense of direction. I did not know where I was going. Like, I needed GPS to get like 2 miles from my house. Like, I was fucked. I'm like, is this the part where I die now? Like, do I just like curl up in a fetal position on the ground and like let the Lord take me? Because like, I genuinely was getting so worked up. Anybody who knows me knows that I am not big on crowds. Like, not good at being in the midst of them. Like, stage fright, like, I don't have that. I'm a fucking attention whore and a half. But I have really bad separation anxiety. Like, I'm just not the person to be in this scenario. Finally, I decided, fuck it. I'm just gonna go back, like, into the arena and look for her. And even if I can't find her, like, there's probably a place for me to plug in my phone, or there's, like, a payphone or something. But one of the security guards stops me and he's like, what are you doing? And I told him what was going on. He's like, wait, how did you and your mom get separated? And I was like,
I walked one way and my mom walked the other.
And he's like, okay, well, you can't go back in there. And I'm like, okay, but I need to find my mother. And he's like, well, don't you have a phone? And I just looked at him and I was like, it's dead. Like, honestly, I'm sorry, but what the fuck kind of dumbass question is that? Like, do you honestly think if that was a possibility for me that I would be doing what I was doing right now? Like, that is the most basic solution to the problem I'm currently facing. Like, I don't know, maybe he really thought I was just that stupid, but... So after that little encounter, he literally turns around and ignores me. Like, he just goes back to doing his job. Like, people are leaving the arena and he's like, thanks for coming, have a great night. People coming up to him saying, he pointed me in the direction of, you know, like 3rd Street, whatever. Like, he's telling them, and like, I'm literally just standing here like, hello. So finally, he's like, if you want, you can just stand here and wait to see if she comes out. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. What does it look like I'm doing at this point? Another few minutes goes by. He keeps ignoring me. And then he's like, if you want, when the place clears up a little bit, like, you know, me or like one of my coworkers can call her. And I'm like, okay, great. So I'm gonna be waiting a literal hour. Finally, some like super old dude walks into like our general area, and the security guard who was talking to me was like, you see that guy with the really big beard? That's my supervisor. Go tell him your story. So I go do that because I figure, what the hell do I have to lose? And I'm telling him my story, literally like on the verge of tears because I'm just so frustrated and like anxious and worked up at this point. And he looks at me and says,
I don't know how to help you.
Oh, well, that's swell. It's not like it's your job, but okay. And look, guys, granted, I probably would have been fine. Like, we were staying downtown that night in a hotel, so I was walking distance from the hotel. I had money on me. Like, I'm a legal adult. Probably, like, the situation could have been so much worse. But, like, real talk, I don't look 19. Like, I just don't. I look like I'm like a teenager. Like, especially without makeup on, I look younger. But even with like my makeup and I was kind of like dressed up and stuff, like, I still probably only look like 16 or 17. I'm really sure I have a young face. Like, for all he knew, I was a minor that was separated from my parent. And like, he didn't even want to try to help me. I literally looked at him. I was like, can I borrow your phone to call her? He was like, I don't have a phone. I'm like, that's bullshit, but okay. So he was like, you know, honestly, what I would do is just start walking down that way, keep walking, and if you don't find her, eventually you'll come to an office and they can probably help you. Now, the office might be closed, but if it's not closed, they can help you. Thank you, sir. You have been the exact opposite of help. Finally, I decided to say fuck it because the people here don't want to actually do their jobs, and I was really, really on edge at this point, and I just went up to like the first like semi-nice looking grown woman I saw and was like, hey, I'm really sorry, but like my phone is dead. I can't find my mom anywhere. Can I please like you know, borrow your phone to call her or something, and she was like, you know, I'm not gonna give you my phone, but like I'll call her for you, which is like fine. Like I was like literally like, that's fine, I don't blame you. Like they're not helping me. And so like she called my mom, and she even walked me to her, and she was a really nice lady. The moral of the story is that Chasefield needs to get their fucking shit together, okay? I get it. Like honestly, I've worked in customer service. There have been nights where like I'm just fucking done with people, like in any and all regards. But at the end of the day, like you need to help people, like you need to do your job. It's one night. And also I can't help but wonder, like if I was like a crying 6-year-old, like would they have been more like responsive? And if so, like why should that matter? I get it if I was like a grown-up, you know, but like even if like I do look 19, like I'm still like young, and it's a big place, and I'm telling you I lost my mom, and I'm not being calm about it. Like fucking do something. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and share and all of that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.